Hey guys, firstly I'd like to apologize for not posting any videos for a month. I was pretty caught up with work and I also went on vacation with my family. However, with all the photos I've taken during this time, I thought it'd be perfect for those of you out there who are unfamiliar with Lightroom and to show you guys the workflow I use from start to a finished photo. I'm also open to learning, so if you guys have any comments on how I can do better, leave your comments down below. And if you have not already subscribed, please subscribe to my channel, it will really help me a lot. And without further ado, let's get started with this tutorial. Okay, so now I have my hard disk open up. So this is how I organize my files. I contain my YouTube videos on one tab, or rather folder, photos on another folder, as well as some random videos that I take on another folder. So for photo wise, I'll go in and I organize them by year. And inside the year I organize them by months. So I have already created this in my hard disk. So after that I'll go over to Lightroom Classic, which is what I normally use. Okay, so once you get to Lightroom Classic, go to the library tab over here, click import, and the import tab will come on. So on the left side, that's where the source of the files are going to come from, and on the right side is where you want to put the file into. So remember the folder we just created. So what we're going to do is go select my hard disk and 28. So this is where I want it to go to, and over here I'll select my memory card from my camera and just look through. Yep, this looks like the photos I took on the vacation trip. And once you are happy with the source and the destination, go ahead and hit import and just allow it to do its thing.
A few moments later.
Okay, so it's done right now, so I'll go ahead with the rating. So I'll look at all the photos and see which one I want to edit first. Basically pictures that I like. So basically on your keyboard you can have like 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5. That will basically rate the picture, and that will help you organize onto what photos you want to edit. So go ahead and do that for your photos as required. Okay, so once you are done with that, so just for an example, this is the photo I want to edit. Usually I'll start out, so you go to the develop tab, that's where I am right now. So I'll start out by making the photo straight. That's usually how I go about doing it. So go to the transform tab, hit level, and Lightroom will automatically level it for you. Looks pretty straight to me right now. Okay, and I will do the big picture stuff first. So you can see over here there's a couple of people that I don't really want in the shot. So for me, I'll go spot removal. I find that the quickest way. Scroll your mouse, give it a quick tap, and you can see that Lightroom immediately removes it exactly how I wanted it to be. So you can't even really tell there was someone there before. Okay, so once we have that done, you can see the photo as a whole. So I explain individual tabs. So this is the basic tab over here. Let me close the rest of the tabs so it's clearer. The basic tab, what you can actually control is like you can edit it as a color or as a black and white photo. Alright, obviously in this case with the sunset, I want it to be in a color. For this section over here, this is what we call the or what we adjust the color temperature or the temperature of the picture. And it is kind of exactly how I wanted it to be. So warmth because it's the sunset, right? Next up would be the exposure tab. So the exposure wise obviously controls the exposure of the photo. And contrast, obviously adjust the contrast as well. So to me, the highlight of this photo is actually the this area over here where the sunset is. So actually looking at it, I might actually want to crop it in a little. It's over here, crop it. So looking at this as it is, good. Okay, so like I said earlier, the emphasis would be on the background, and obviously if I could, I would try to pull the some details out from the islands over here. Alright, so how you can do about with the new Lightroom Classic, it actually has this masking feature, and what it allows you to do is to select the sky. That really helps a lot. So the computer, the AI in the program will figure where the sky is, and as you can see, it did a pretty decent job. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is invert it initially, because I think the sky is pretty decent already. So with it inverted, you see it has everything else but the sky selected. Okay, so for this part, I would like to increase the exposure a little bit, just to get back some details from the foreground. Next step will be a contrast. So for us, I think increasing the contrast a little bit brings out the details in the wave, or makes the details in the wave stand out better. And highlights wise, looks like a more contrasty photo looks better. Okay, so this is the shadow, is the one that brings out the details in the shadows, obviously. So you can see the details in the islands coming out ever so slightly. So this looks about right. White, now that's not what we wanted, right? So put it down. Blacks, not too much, just a touch. So as you can see, the islands, the details from the islands come out so much better. So this is the before and this is the after. I think it's starting to look very good already. Texture wise, okay, gonna add a little dehaze to give it a little dreamy look. Saturation wise, having it a little increase. I like the colors to be a little punchy, so this will actually work out for me. Sharpness. Okay, so this actually looks pretty good already. So once you're done with this, go ahead and hit done. Okay, so now what we have just done is adjusted the foreground, brought out the details a little bit, make the color a little punchier. I think it works out for what we want. Alright, so for the next part, what we're gonna do is add another mask. We're gonna select the sky again, let the program do its thing again. And essentially what we're going to do is the same as before, just with the sky. So once you're happy with the edit, go ahead and right click the photo that you want, go to the export tab, click on export. Basically it gives you a lot of options. So the first one would be where you want to export it to. In my case, I'll just put it on the desktop, put in a subfolder called sunset. You can rename it to something else that you want. In my case, I'm just going to leave it. And also the photo parameters, how you can define it so that the Lightroom will export it into whatever you define it for. In my case, I'm going to leave it as such. And that's pretty much
it, and if you are satisfied with it, just go ahead, hit export, and that's it, you're done.
Hope you guys learned a thing or two from this tutorial, and if you have not already subscribed, please do so. Thank you and have a wonderful day.